Can we meditate and switch off from the body, from all of this, and become the observer? Short answer is yes, we can. And I watched a guy who talks about Freemasonry, esotericism, and those sorts of paths, religions, whatever you'd call it. And he was talking about how you can meditate and you can disconnect from emotion, thought, behavior, the physical world, the emotional, energetic world, and you can become the observer, the person who overwatches everything that you're experiencing, going through, and doing in life. And I saw that and I thought, I love what you do and how amazing you are, but I believe that if you were to meditate and just teach yourself how to fully disconnect from all of this to become the observer, then what you're doing is avoiding what we are potentially here in this lifetime to move through. And it's not to just learn how to disconnect, in my belief anyway, disconnect from the body, the physical existence, to become the observer, the person who overwatches it. If you believe in reincarnation, whether you do or don't, who cares? But if you do believe in that, then you believe that you're here in this lifetime to learn lessons. And the idea behind learning lessons is going through the emotion, the thought, and the behavior. And so this is what I've been teaching the last 6-7 years, emotion, thought, behavior, and the work that I do, the talks. And so what I talk about is when you grow up in your formative years, you learn what emotion is safe and what is not. And if, let's say, as a kid, you grow up and, you're excited all the time and you're loud and you're boisterous, and then your parent, who probably went through a childhood and existence where they were told they were too much, they're probably going to tell you that you're too much. Be quiet, shush, shut up, whatever that is, right? And so as a kid, you teach yourself, or you learn, oh my God, excitement isn't safe. I can't feel that emotion. And so your nervous system starts learning that when that emotion arises, it is unsafe. And so your brain starts creating these self-protection patterns where you start acting or behaving in a certain way. You take action. And that behavior or that action is to shift and change from the emotion that is unsafe. So excitement is there. Oh my God, I'm being too much. Oh my God, mum or dad isn't going to like me. Oh my God, my friends are going to laugh at me. Brain kicks in. We are unsafe. What do we do to trigger a response, to trigger an action, to shift it so that we feel safe now? And for a lot of kids, if they feel like they're too much, their behavior is probably going to be, oh, I'm just going to shut up. I'm just going to say nothing. I'm not going to do anything. I'm not going to show that I'm happy. I'm not going to, be proud of my achievement and be excited about it because it's not okay. And so we create that loop, right? And that becomes the pattern between emotion, thought, behavior. And that pattern over time, when we keep using it day in and day out, it becomes our identity. And the identity being, oh my God, that's just who I am. I'm someone who doesn't get excited. And so over time, that's what we have to learn how to unpack, to decondition, as they'd say in human design. And what we're doing there is deconditioning all of the stuff that we created to protect ourselves because how we showed up in this world felt unsafe, like being the most grounded, authentic version of us. And when we decondition and we become authentically us, we reconnect to who we are and let go of all the patterns and the identity that we created to keep ourselves safe, then we come back to the observer, but we don't come back to the observer as a version of us who isn't authentically us. And so the beauty of this, and why I'm I don't think that's true. I feel like that's avoidance if you're just meditating to disconnect from all of this and become the observer, the overwatcher, especially if you believe in reincarnation, because that means that you're missing what you're here to experience in this life. And so, we come into this life, we create these conditioning, these patterns, this identity to keep ourselves safe, and the idea is we're here, and then we let go, peel back all of those layers so that we can become who we were when we entered this world. Boom! The observer. That's why kids are so freaking beautiful, right? They're so authentic. They do things and we see it and we laugh and we giggle and it's like, oh my God, that kid's so cool. That's what we can become as adults. It's just over time we've learnt that, oh no, if I am that, if I am excited, if I do get a little bit sad, if I am a man and I show emotion, then that's not safe. And so, what I believe to be true is that we're here to feel all the emotions that we were taught was unsafe. Like, feel those. Feel them to a point and accept them and integrate them to a point where the nervous system stops perceiving those as unsafe. Like, oh my God, that pops up in the body. The nervous system isn't going to fight, flight, or freeze and then telling the brain or sending those signals and saying, hey, we're not safe here. Can you trigger a response? And the brain going to whatever it needs to do to create an action to shift you out of it, from excitement to anger, from excitement to, just isolation or shutting down, whatever that might be for you. So I believe that's the beauty of the idea of the observer, is if you can teach your nervous system to feel safe with all of the different emotions that we have in this physical existence, because we experience everything through the body, right? That's how we are supposed to learn the lessons that we're here to learn, is by not just being the observer and watching everything, but being the observer and allowing ourselves to go through the emotions, to feel, accept and integrate all of the emotions so that we get better at moving with the ups and downs of life and returning, so there is an up and down, returning to the center line, which is peace, which is relaxation. Yes, there is going to be excitement all the way up the top, and then there's going to be, anger. No, not anger, because that's a masking emotion. There's going to be sadness down the bottom. It's just how long can you allow yourself to, or how long does it take you to hit sadness, accept it and not avoid it, not try and push it away and try and mask it with alcohol or whatever else there is, because you're going to stay down there longer, right? How good can you get at resetting yourself and accepting, fully integrating that emotion so that you, boom, bounce back up to peace? And it's the same with excitement, happiness, like a joy of achievement. Allowing yourself to really feel those emotions and not expecting them to stay there. And when it starts to drop off back down, it's like, okay, can I accept and integrate that and understand that what was happening, I'm now releasing and moving back down to peace? Because if you do not allow yourself to accept, integrate and let go of the good emotion, you're probably going to drop all the way down to sadness, the low level emotion. And so that's what makes this so freaking beautiful, is that when we decondition, we peel back all of these layers, we become the most authentic version of us, and then we can connect to the observer as that. So we can see, hear, identify the inner voice in our head, the inner voice, and question, hey, is that me, or is it the brain trying to protect me? Because the brain is so good at creating a voice that you believe is you, so that when an emotion arises, it can push you down a path of self-protection, and that self-protection at the time becomes a pattern, and then long-term becomes an identity. That's just who I am. Whew, that's random, but, oh God, sometimes I just have shit in my head and I think it's time to talk about it.